it's Giffin again, the owner and acupuncturist here at Wisdom Ways Acupuncture. We are back in one of my treatment rooms to talk about the wood element. It's mid-March right now and we are heading full force right into the wood element season, which is spring. So I wanted to give you a quick overview of some of the traits of the wood element and to go over what some of the strengths and the challenges are, so that if you are a wood type, you might be able to tell that, or maybe just if your wood is out of balance, then you can start to recognize that as well. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give some tools and tips that you can use to help balance your wood energy. All of us have all of the elements in us, and so as we head into the season associated with that element, that energy tends to flare up. More than any of the other elements, the wood energy tends to be very challenging for us to deal with. So the wood element is associated with the liver. As I said, it's associated with the springtime. It's related to our eyes and the wind and the emotion of anger. So let's go through those. In the springtime, if you just look out at what's happening around us in nature, that gives us a lot of clues about what the liver energy is all about. So it's just this explosive energy. Everything's moving up and out, really rapid growth. It's moving really, really fast. Everything's changing rapidly. All of that is what liver type people tend to desire or thrive on. And so wood type people are classic type A. So let's get this done now, let's get this done right. And so that energy is very ambitious, it's very motivated, it's very effective and productive. All of those things are very good qualities. The problem is that in the springtime, or if you're a wood type, that energy can tend to just sort of, again, because its nature is to explode, it can just sort of explode everywhere. So when a wood type person that's out of balance comes into the room, there can be an explosive sort of bulldozing energy around them. They can tend to be bossy, over controlling, that selfish blinders on as they're just going towards their goal, not really noticing anything else around them. The other side of it is if it's a depleted type wood energy, they might have no ambition, no goals, just sort of a doormat that everybody can walk all over. So while the wood energy can be extremely bountiful and it can help us get a lot done, it's also, if you think back again to the spring energy, all this new growth, this new life, it's a very juvenile type energy. And so it's not really filled with a lot of wisdom all the time, which can bring us into some of the problems that we butt up against when the wood element gets out of hand. That brings me into the emotion associated with the liver. It is anger. And so liver type people can tend to just be, I describe it as like when we get out of balance, like a pressure cooker. It just seems like they're going to explode any second. So if you think about when the molecules in a pressure cooker are trying to move, but you tap it down, you're blocking that flow of the energy. And that's what happens. One of the primary jobs of the liver is to keep everything flowing smoothly in us, so that our muscles and blood circulation is all open. We don't feel really tense. That pressure cooker energy, when it's all bottled up and tense, it will explode upward into our head, and we can tend to get migraines, or because it's associated with the eyes, ocular, visual problems, floaters, eyes just feeling like they're going to explode out of our head. All of those are commonly symptoms associated with that wood energy rising up. Along with having to keep things flowing smoothly, it regulates our menstrual cycle. So our menstruation has to flow smoothly. When it doesn't, we can get cramps, irregular periods, endometriosis. We can have things like fibroids. If our stools don't flow smoothly because of the liver, we can end up with constipation. One of the best examples that we talk about in Chinese medicine to describe the ideal wood energy is bamboo. So bamboo, when it grows real tall and mature, it's basically wood. And so when the winds of life come along, it needs to be nice and supple and nice and go with the flow. Nice flexible wood. So when our wood is balanced and nourished, our muscles are flexible, we go with the flow, challenges can come along, and we can just bend with them. An unbalanced wood energy is not able to do that, and it just snaps at the first challenge that comes along. And so that is where that temper, the rage, can come from. So this brings me into what we can do to keep our wood element balanced. One of the best things about the 5 elements is that it's a very elegant and wonderful system of checks and balances that we can use to help balance anything that's out of balance. So the metal element here is meant to control the wood element. The metal is about as opposite as you can get from wood. As opposed to being that blinder sort of me focus, it's all about wisdom. Picture a sage on the hill at the top of a mountain that sees everything, sees the bigger picture of everything, and so it can make more wise decisions. The metal element is all about what is truly valuable, maybe not the more juvenile or more shallow concerns of the wood element, which can be about ambition or just money and success and fame. To give some examples, the metal element is also all about compassion. And so naturally, when we have more metal element in us, we're more compassionate, which tempers that rage and the frustration of the wood element. And so when somebody comes in and they're obviously wood imbalanced, not only do I use acupuncture and herbs and nutrition to help balance them, but I'll start to talk to them about doing some more metal type activities, nurturing their metal. So for you, if you are having challenges as we're heading into wood season with anger, temper, frustration, more of those wood symptoms that I mentioned earlier, or if you're a wood type, you can start balancing it by bringing in more relaxation techniques, focusing on the spiritual side of your life. One of the best things that we can do is to nourish our metal and get out of that wood element is to always be doing something that's altruistic. So a goal that's higher minded and to serve other people and not just ourselves. So this was just a taster of the wood element. I hope that this has helped you understand some of the common issues that people deal with during this time of year. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to stay tuned as we head into the summertime. That's when I'm going to be posting the video on the fire element.